Hey guys, Chris from Rekkid Talk. We're going to do 5 records in 5 minutes about month number 6 of the year, which is the month of June, which is just getting started. As I do every month, starting last November, Local H 12 Angry Months. So, sort of a concept album about the 12 months and living in Chicago. And now, Taxi Cabs is the name of the song for the month of June. And I just want to kind of state that the analytics are showing me that you guys are avoiding my ranking the albums of Local H video like it's gas station sushi. And I'll just give you a little bit of spoiler. This is actually fairly low on the Local H list of records, and there's a lot of more cool records by them coming. And so let's talk about some other records that maybe you guys are interested in. Johnny Cash. So this is Johnny Cash, A Night to Remember, May 5th, 1973. You're saying, oh, that's May, not June. Well, of course, he was married to June Carter Cash. And on disc number 2, June appears with Johnny on several of the songs. Jackson, If I Were a Carpenter, Help Me, If I Had a Hammer, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, Daddy Sang Bass. So most of the songs on the second disc have June Carter Cash accompanying her husband Johnny Cash. And there's a picture of them. And so some good live music from 1973. This is like a third man vault version of it. And just to show you that I'm not always about the stuff past the 90s, will stay in the year 1973. An artist that I certainly don't show very often. So this is Leo Kottke, My Feet Are Smiling. You can see the cover's not in the greatest condition. This is something I got out of a dollar bin. And so, of course, Leo Kottke is the noted finger-picking acoustic guitar player. So elements of jazz, elements of folk in his music. This is probably during his heyday in the early to mid 1970s. So this is a live album from 1973. And where June comes in is at the first song on side 2. And you got the good old orange capital label. First song on side 2 is called Junebug. A short little instrumental. Of course, Leo would have lots of instrumentals. Always kind of curious about how you come up with titles of instrumentals. And so let's get into maybe more my sort of stuff. We'll go a little bit more 80s alternative rock. So the 80s sort of alternative power poppy sort of group called Game Theory with the late great Scott Miller. This is from 1986. I've got it on this lime green vinyl. Side 2, the first song on side 2 is called Crash into June. So, of course, you've got some lovely keyboard work. You've got Scott, great melodies, and very nice stuff. So if you haven't never checked out Game Theory, you might want to give them a check. And of course, he passed away a few years ago. And some of the people he collaborated with, like Chris Stamey from the DBs and Stefan Schnuck from Salt, they've recently released an album called The Salt Collective. So I guess it's sort of like June because you got The Boy at the Beach. And so you've got a lot of sort of a power poppy all-star selection there. And we got less than a minute left for the last album, the last CD. We're going to do some Camper Van Beethoven with Key Lime Pie from 1989. And so I have the CD version. There's a song called June. It's track number 8. If you have it on vinyl, it happens again to be the first song on side 2, just like the Game Theory and Leo Kottke were. And this isn't really a very summery song. There's a lot of minor chords, Eastern European influence. You've got violins, sort of Roma-esque in their sound. Not feeling all that summery. But there you go. 5 groups for June. Camper Van Beethoven, Game Theory, Leo Kottke, Johnny Cash, and Local H.